I do have someone that popped in. I guess I could bring you up for a little bit. So this is a young lady that I'm going to bring up. You guys know her very well. She is probably the most natural. It's
Can you
not.
hear me well?
I can hear you. How are you
Perfect.
doing, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well.
I loved the pictures. I don't think I've ever seen you with like multiple, like I've seen your hair how it is now, straight and curly. But
Yeah.
my favorite was the afro, the big blonde afro.
Thank you. Well, let me tell you about my big blonde, right? Because when I feel most confident when my hair is like that because I stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I think when you go natural, and especially when you do the big chop,
Oh yeah.
you got to have some kind of confidence in yourself
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do it. So I brought you on because you are, you know, your hair has been a topic of its own on the show, where it's in a puff or 1 to 2 out, pull back. How I usually do it at the end of the show because I know you're hot. So tell me a little bit about your hair journey. And about you being approached, because I know, some people might not think because of your hair that men are not attracted to that.
Okay, so I had a perm. I got a perm probably in like, I want to say like 5th or 6th grade, somewhere around that time. Had it all the way until college. In college, I stopped perming my hair and I was like, I'm gonna grow it out and wait until it's like grown out enough to cut it and still have like a substantial amount of hair. I was like, forget this, because I know during the transition, when some hair is straight and some is your natural texture, it's just very hard, or at least it was for me to take care of. So one day, I think it was like my senior year, because I started doing the whole like thinking about cutting it my senior year. So at the end, I was like, you know what? Forget it. I cut my hair completely off after graduation. Like I had like 1 inch or less of hair. And it was funny because my boyfriend at the time, like my college boyfriend, was so mad. He was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it, blah, blah, blah. I used to joke that it led to the demise of our relationship because I feel like after that, he was just like, what? But I don't think it was because of the hair, not because he didn't like the hair. It was that he thought that I like made a decision, I guess, without him. But I was like, we're in college. But anyway, so then, I grew out my teeny weeny afro. And I've just had my hair natural ever since after college I cut it.
Yeah. So since being natural, and I kind of gave with me that I've noticed a difference from moving to the creamy crack to the natural, and then sometimes doing the straight and the not straight, how I'm approached is different depending on my hair a lot of times. I mean, if you know me, you know me, but if you don't, and I walk out, let's say, to the gas station, how I get approached, with long, straight, non Courtney hair is different from a fro. So do you experience that? And if so, why do you think that is?
So I definitely notice a difference in the type of approach that people use. I would still say the same, like there's a wide variety of men that approach. It's just the type of approach that they use is a lot different. It's a lot more respectful in my observation. It's a lot more, gentle and, respectful, I guess is the word I want to use. I definitely notice a difference. It's huge. I know that some men like natural hair to be a certain way, maybe straightened or whatever. They just want the hair that grows out of your head, regardless of anything else. But I honestly think that a lot of men actually like the textured hair, like how yours is textured, like you have your defined curls, how mine is still textured, even though it's like a twist out and it's almost stretched or whatever. I don't think that I don't think men have any problem with natural hair, even when it's textured, even when it's not dyed. Like, I think they really like it. And I would say the same amount of people approach. It's just the approach is different, very noticeable.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and I'm going to, of course, have guys call in because I don't want to just say, I think men think this way, because I want them to let us know. But I agree. I think men love texture because here's the thing. I think we can agree that majority of people want to be with their people. Majority of Black people want to be with somebody Black. Majority of white people white. Like, we get it. Mm-hmm. So Black men have our hair.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're relatable.
Yeah.
And there's always been a thing. My mom told my brother, she can't use your comb, don't bring her home.
I've heard that phrase somewhere before. But I love
you never heard your mom never told your brothers that?
No. I mean, it wasn't even a conversation. Like, I don't think, that wasn't even a conversation. But yeah, I've definitely heard that phrase somewhere before. And I just like your voice that you do when you.
I can't, I'm animated. So, but yeah, so I agree. So not only on different levels that I can connect with a Black man, our hair, I can connect with you, understanding the waves. I know how to buy that Murray's for you, boo. I understand. And the Murray's that last for about 10 to 15 years, just one
20
jar.
to 30 years.
I got you. One jar is a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
So I think, we kind of agree. I think, with Black folks in our hair and understanding the texture because, this is our hair. And even with going natural, and I still say that I'm natural, even though I do color my hair,
mm-hmm.
I look at it as my texture. I look at it where I can go swimming now and I don't have a problem, with going swimming. I've walked in the rain before and I wasn't running for cover. I could walk in the rain and just be like, this is what you gonna get.
Yep.
I remember being a young girl I used to have French rolls, right?
Are you talking about like the French roll, the one that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, your hair is like a whole roll. Yeah. And then you bobby pin that up.
You had a French roll, Courtney?
I did. I did.
That picture you should have included.
So I wasn't ready for the laughter. But I remember as a child, sleeping like this, where my hair had to stay for a week and I didn't want to move it or lay because I didn't want to mess it up because my hair had to last. I remember my mom getting mad at me because I sweated my hair. So, she would straighten my hair and then, it would kind of curl up and it was like, hey, it's making me upset, your hair. You sweating your hair. And, this
like, make sure you bring a fan. Keep this style.
Right. Take the shirt off with something. Quit sweating. Take the covers off. And me sleeping like this and I'm freezing because I sweat. So then we had to turn on the AC. And it was just so
a lot of things go into, I think that specifically for Black women, hair has been just a huge part of many of our lives. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just such a huge thing for so many people. And it's so deep rooted. Like, it's really a lot to unpack. Some people won't even leave. There's people that I've known for a decade or more, and I have never seen their real hair. Like, never, not once. Right. So just that, like you were talking about the pressure of, keeping your style and all this for a certain amount of time when you were younger. That same sentiment kind of travels to adulthood too for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Having to look a certain way when you leave the house or whatever.